starting.
I need to flex on Milo one more time.
All right, so here's our podcast. Number 1. It's gonna be a series. What's this episode on, Parker?
Conspiracy theories and like what they're about, and we're just gonna talk about them and have a good time.
Like the general overview.
General overview of conspiracy theories and like why people believe in them.
All right, so we'll start off with the question: what is a conspiracy theory? What do you think a conspiracy theory is, Parker?
Well, I mean, what I really think of a conspiracy theory is like what a very big like idea of a false statement or something that people believe in, and they go behind this idea and like it's their belief and they're gonna stick with that, and
Yeah.
like, nothing will change their idea of that. And,
All right.
Yeah.
Well, the official definition from the Oxford Dictionary on a conspiracy theory is the belief that a secret but powerful organization is responsible for an event. A good example of that belief system would be 9/11 was an inside job done by the U.S. government. Among popular conspiracy theories, the QAnon theory, where, for lack of better terms, everybody's a pedophile, essentially. The Illuminati run the world, and everything 5G related, from COVID to cancer to
just a lot of things. I mean,
global warming.
People will say 5G is the cause of anything nowadays.
It really is. It's bad. Like, I just enjoy the fast speeds.
Yeah, I mean, when I get 5G up in the cities, it's kind of a good thing.
It's exciting.
I know,
It's
it really is. Because now I can just watch my TikToks in fast
Yeah.
speed.
So, what do you believe the main cause of people creating and believing in the conspiracy theories is?
Well, I mean, this idea of such a vast theory or whatever, people can just go behind this and just be like, they believe in this, and like how birds aren't real and stuff. People will say that's like crazy and will believe in that.
I mean, personally, I feel like it's just a way to stand out on stuff that is pretty
People don't have
simple.
explanations for. It's like,
In a sense, it's a lot similar to faith.
yeah, I mean, it really is, but I don't think it's brought to that big of an extent.
Well, it's
but,
not like followed to that extent
Yeah.
anyway, but
course.
the general concept in it is, yeah. But the overall cause of people believing and creating conspiracy theories is they need to feel like there's an explanation to something that seems irrational to them or just not normal. Because a lot of people have a problem accepting the truth. Alright, so what percentage of people do you think believe in a conspiracy theory?
Probably, well, like, are like firm believers in a conspiracy theory?
Just
like
in any conspiracy
any
theory.
conspiracy theory? Probably like, I want to say like 40%, because some people are crazy and most people are crazy.
Well, interesting you say that, because in a 2020 study conducted on three groups of 1,000 people from Europe, or Britain, France, and the United States. The United States had the leading amount, with 60 people at least partially believing that some things seem rational.
Wow. It's quite a bit of people.
It really is.
60 out of how many?
60% out of 1,000, so 600. But another study was conducted upon like how irrational they are in comparison to how many people believe in them. And that was out of 1,220 people, and it showed that 47% of people thought that like a semi-rational conspiracy theory was real, and then it got up to 11% on the moon landing was faked, which was the most irrational on their scale.
Yeah.
So I think like the overall takeaway from that study is just that the mind believes stuff that it wants to believe, but the crazier it gets, the harder it is to believe.
Yeah.
So, alright, well, without further ado, we got a pretty big conversation to have today.
I agree.
Yeah, we're gonna have Milo talk about some of his conspiracy theories and what he has to think about them, and like.
More so than anything, because we can't really go into favoritism on conspiracy theories, and Milo is a firm believer in some. They are very compelling too. He puts up a good argument.
And he's an informative type of guy, so he's got.
I'm a very informative type of guy. I think you guys are noticing.
Stuff to say for us.
All right, so what is your favorite conspiracy theory?
William, I'd have to. So my favorite conspiracy theory is probably Agartha. For you guys that don't know, Agartha's a legendary city that resides in the Earth's core. It's pretty much just like it's this paradise down there, and a whole bunch of people believe in it. Well,
Who inhabits it?
well, there's giants, titans, Nazis, just a whole bunch of people, like a bunch of like outer world people, like aliens. There's supposed to be like an alien ship there, like where you can like land it like helicopter pads, but an alien pad. It's pretty cool.
This
You guys
sounds
ever wanted to
actually.
visit?
This sounds really cool.
See, I'm just so confused. Like, this just doesn't make sense.
What are you confused by?
It doesn't make sense, but you gotta make it make sense.
Like, I just can't.
You
though,
gotta
because
see both sides of the story.
Well, if you guys have like ever gotten into research about it and like listened to the biography that Olaf Jensen has
do you
put out.
have anything to say about that or no?
Well, I do have some research that I've done about Olaf Jensen.
Let's hear about it.
So a biography came out in 1908 about a Norwegian sailor named Olaf Jensen. So the book explains how Jensen's ship just sailed through an entrance to the Earth's interior at the North Pole.
In the Earth's interior, like
Yep. Like there's like entrances. Like
So,
there's multiple
are
entrances
both
around the world.
poles
through the core?
entrance?
Like, well, do you guys like? I can name some of the entrances off that they have.
I would-
like
I'd really like
that
to
are
know,
on the
honestly.
Earth right now.
Yeah.
Like, are they just uncharted territories? Like, it's super hard to get to?
No, not like you'd be
Or
surprised.
it's
So
just
wait,
like-
so like if I wanted to, I could just fly to this place and go in.
If you found the place, I feel like you would be able to get in.
Are they
So
hidden?
I don't think
so
it's
people
restricted to
don't know
anybody.
where it is, or
What?
people do know where it is, or no?
It's like, I don't know. I mean,
It's
people
known,
have
but it's
explored
not
it before,
known.
but it's like, I mean, it's kind of like what Will said. It's uncharted territory, but it's like known places in the world.
Well, I mean, like, if you were to go into one of these and find it, right? And then you'd fall in, is there truthfully a way out?
Yeah, I mean, Olaf Jensen came out. You can, it's just like, it's literally just like a whole, like, so in the North and South Pole, and like, there's like this one spot that you're not able to fly over. There's like government bases around it and all this stuff. And it's pretty much just like a hole in the ground that you can see into. There's this, one, aviator.
Where is
in-
this?
well, there's like many entrances that you can. It's just in the middle of the earth, obviously.
No,
there's-
like where you can't fly above. Where
Like,
is?
Oh, it's Antarctica. Antarctica,
Okay.
you're legally not able to fly over it. But there was one guy in like the 1800s who flew over it, and he saw the Earth and like the inside of it, Agartha, and he explored it obviously, and he just saw all this stuff that I've been explaining, and just like all this wonderful stuff that's inside of it, and like I have like
So kind of like a heaven.
kind of. I mean, I can go into it more if you guys would like me to.
I mean, I would, but I have one question first.
And what's that?
In your lifetime, do you ever think you will chart these uncharted territories to get there?
If I ever get the opportunity to do, I would.
Should we make it a trip?
I think we should.
I think we should.
The
Spring
boys
break
hit-
2023.
Spring
The
break
boys hit
2023.
Antarctica.
No, it's 2024. How about-
2023.
2024. Because
Oh,
then
yeah.
we'll be graduating.
No, we graduate in 2023.
Yeah, but they don't like spring break. I don't want to go
I don't
during
wanna
like
go
high school
during
and stuff.
school, bro.
Actually, not when we're 18, because if we find it, we won't want to come back. Right away.
Exactly, bro. We're gonna live there,
We're gonna.
and then we're gonna.
Maybe
no,
we should
we could like make trips back and forth and sell some of the stuff.
we could
from
introduce
it.
the pyramid scheme to them.
Exactly. I'm thinking that we go in spring break 2025.
2025.
Yeah, because then we'd have our high school one, which would be senior year.
No, 'cause then
and then we'd have our first college one.
No, because
too.
like my reasoning is we'd be all 21 by then, and all these giants on there, and Titans and aliens and Germans
we could
and
put
Nazis.
some beers away with all these cool
We could.
people.
I mean, they're Germans down there,
I mean, yeah.
and
Could we hang?
we could hang.
We could
I don't
hang.
know if they can hang, but
I don't know
so.
if they can hang, but we can definitely.
We will
hang.
find a way.
Yes, and I agree.
When
with
there's a
that
will, there's a
100%.
way. I'm
There's
the
a
will.
There's a way.
And I'm the way.
And I'm
And
the.
he's the park.
I'm the. All right. So, what are some of the things that like were down there?
So pretty much. So I'm gonna go back to what I was saying about Olaf Jensen. So
Yeah.
for 2 years he lived with the inhabitants of the underground network of the colonies. There's giants, or just like people like 12 feet tall, and their world was lit up by like a smoky central sun. So it's pretty much just like they have like a whole habitat down there, and it's like our world up here but better. And the capital city is supposed to be, or it's like known as the original Garden of Eden as well. And I don't know. I mean, it's pretty much just like.
Are you saying there's bibliographer? No, the Bible. There's ties to the Bible.
Yes, I think so. I mean, like some ties. I mean, obviously the mentions of Garden of Eden, which is
Yeah.
obviously a biblical thing.
Yeah.
And
Biblical. That's the word I was thinking of.
Biblical.
yes, sir. And I mean, if they're saying that it's on there, I agree. If there's like all these firsthand like primary resources, I agree.
There's no reason not to, because that's something that's so unmentioned, unexplored. There's not enough information on it to disagree or agree.
Because how would they find all these like there's all these like places in the world that you can enter to buy, but no one's ever like denied it. Like there's not like anything saying like here, like I have some of the things here, and like no one ever said that there's not an entrance there. Like the underground city of Xinhua, which is allegedly exists beneath the border of Mongolia and China. There's an entrance there.
I can
It's
see
obviously
that too.
accessible, but nobody has denied it.
Well, I mean, America too, as a whole, we're 200 years old as a country. Whereas you like go to China and the Middle East, they have really, really old ties. I feel like they
feel like there's
potentially have discovered it.
There's a
Yeah.
lot there that people don't know about.
And I feel like, although we advance super fast throughout society,
Uh-huh.
I feel like all these other countries know a lot more and
Exactly.
maintain the secrets, obviously.
Because when I did my research on the entrances of the Agartha, there's not many in the United States. It's mostly like European countries and.
Well, I mean, guys, they're also like really old countries too.
Yep, like I mean the Pyramid of Giza, which isn't really a European country.
That's more Middle East, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's an entrance there, which makes a lot of sense just because the Pyramid of Giza. There's a lot of conspiracies about that in general,
There is a lot.
but we don't have to get into that right now.
Not yet.
No, not right now.
I mean the North and South Poles obviously have multiple, or they both have a
Entrance.
entrance
That would
there.
make sense.
Would those be considered like the main entrance? Like,
I'd assume so. Like those.
Yeah, that's
They-
definitely.
metaphorical gates to heaven.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, it's like the most uncharted place in the world.
Yeah.
That is true. It's too cold to
Too
inhabit.
cold.
Yeah.
And that's maybe like its way of like
Keeping
hiding it.
people
Yeah,
away.
it's
Yeah.
like keeping it a secret from the like
because
main
people
population.
are too like
But
we aren't advanced enough to go that far yet.
Yeah.
I think it's the Earth's way of telling us no. And I think I can see how that would work. Yeah.
Because I mean, it is obviously accessible, but it's gonna be like a really hard, treacherous journey. So you need like if there's a will, there's a way. But not many people.
Not
there's
many,
gonna
will,
not many
way,
people have
love.
that will.
yeah, and
There's the will,
like,
there's a way, and I'm
Right here,
the-
guys.
nobody's like worthy.
I'm the-
Like
All right. Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but I feel like we went too in depth on that one. I don't want to like ruin the other ones and just not hit the ball on those.
Yeah.
So I think we should jump into something else.
all right,
What's your number 2?
all right. So my number 2 is the government. The 9/11 was an inside job.
Okay, so I
Okay.
mentioned that one earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What compels you to believe that?
So the most prominent conspiracy theory is that the collapse of the Twin Towers were the results of controlled demolitions rather than structural failure due to the impact and fire. And so the Pentagon was missed by a missile, and launched by the elements from inside the U.S. government. Or it was hit by the missile, but it like nobody was injured. Everybody like got out right away.
Yeah.
But how would they know? Or that a commercial airliner was allowed to do so via an effective stand down of the military. So they were the ones that controlled the like missile firing, and it was just like all hidden from the general population.
I mean, on this one particularly, I've heard, or I saw an interview on the actual, there was 2 fighter pilots, right, that went up to try and attack that one plane. Coincidentally, those are the only 2 planes on base that had their missiles taken off at that time. And the U.S. government wouldn't authorize them to kamikaze and do it, essentially. But if you think about it, I mean, I know this sounds really morbid, but if you could save all the lives of the people at the Twin Towers at the risk of 2 expendable assets who have signed up to give their all to this country, wouldn't you take it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's a horrible thought to think about, but
Yeah.
Because like people believe that it was an inside job just because there was a lot that the U.S. government could take out of it.
I could also see it's almost like a very, very, very extreme version of war propaganda.
Yep. Because one of their motives was like these conspiracy theorists have been talking about is that it was like to justify the invasions of Afghanistan and Iraq.
It was already a really hated movement throughout the country, correct?
Yeah, because they had plans to construct a natural gas pipeline through Afghanistan, and it's not like the Afghan government is just gonna allow that without
Force.
Yeah.
And there's no amount of money that you can pay them because they wouldn't want it.
Yeah. They don't need it.
You're bypassing their country from that resource to get it from a different country.
Yeah.
So, in conclusion, the 9/11 was an inside job. It was more about politics and, for lack of better terms, war propaganda.
Yeah.
I could see how that one's pretty believable, honestly. I mean, I can't say it was or it wasn't. 9/11 was ultimately not a good thing.
No,
Yeah.
But
Not at all.
everyone was also really quick to point their fingers. And what I don't get is at the time the Taliban didn't have complete control of Afghanistan. So why would the Taliban attack the Twin Towers?
Al Qaeda.
Or
But
Al Qaeda, yeah.
I mean, have you ever seen like the videos of the Twin Towers exploding?
I've seen it, and it
Yeah.
looks like there's more than one explosion. Like it's like
and
there's
it's
embedded
like before
explosives.
because if you like really slow it down, like there's those videos, and I'm not saying that it's true because you can obviously put special effects in,
Yeah.
but you can have it was the towers exploded seconds before the plane even hit the tower.
I mean, I have heard from like people that were around Ground Zero too. They heard more than one explosion.
Yeah,
Like it was a chain reaction, almost like fireworks.
yeah.
So, I could understand that one too.
Yeah.
Is there any other ones you believe in?
Or do you have anything else to say about that?
I mean, I could talk about this all day long, but I don't think.
I mean, you can touch on something that you don't have all the facts on either, but just seems super intriguing to you too. Like something you might not necessarily believe in.
Well, there's a couple like not super believable ones, but if you like did the research, it's just like intrigues you to wonder.
You know, I feel like on all conspiracy theories, after you do a circumstantial amount of research on the topic, depending on what it is, that you could see the other side regardless of which way it is.
Yeah.
You don't believe in it.
I
you
mean,
could
as
believe
long
in
as
it.
you have like everything that you've heard from this person, like the facts and what they believe in and like why they believe in it, it can sometimes be believable.
And I mean, sometimes it's just how compelling the person is when they speak too, ultimately. But if you do like extensive research and you look into it, there's always like a deeper message or that could be portrayed from it.
Yeah, totally.
Because like some of the other ones that I've like really been into is the Area 51, how they're like keeping all this stuff from us, and they know all this like artificial intelligence, and they all.
I could see how they're trying to keep that from us for the sake of humanity.
Oh,
though.
for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that they have all this stuff down there, and
I don't think the U.S. people as a whole could handle all this stuff.
No.
Yeah, we wouldn't know what
They
to
gotta
do
like
with this.
slowly release it into the public when the time's right. Like,
yeah.
I feel like that's more so crowd control.
There was one of the old workers for the Area 51 released a statement about he used to work there, and then he like it's obviously really illegal what he did, but he like made a video explaining all this stuff that he saw there and how like they have like came up with like a time travel device, but they just like aren't gonna release it to the public, obviously for just the sake of humanity.
No, that could be abused, used, and just, you can't touch history. I feel like that's something you shouldn't.
Yeah. And just for like the safety of everybody, just because if you have something like that, then other countries are obviously gonna want it.
Well, I mean, like, we have it, but like, I guess for the sake of the country, like, why do we need to know about it? Because I feel like once we do know about it, that could be such bad things can come out of that because of just social media and stuff like that. Things just happen like out of nowhere.
I mean, not just that so much as the fact that like you can't go back in history. It would mess everything up now.
Yeah.
One small inconsistency in history is a big snowball effect that could potentially lead to the end of the world.
Sure.
So I do I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of believe in the Area 51 having this stuff. I mean, they had stealth bombers in the 60s, and you didn't know about them until the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like, they keep this stuff super classified, but in reality, the stuff that you think is high-tech isn't that high-tech.
They've known about it for years.
We don't.
They've had it created for probably decades at this point.
I listened to the
we don't know what's in there.
autobiography by the guy that shot Osama bin Laden. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. Robert O'Neill.
Yeah.
In his book, I remember this really specifically. He said the entire team had to sign a non-disclosure agreement on the aircraft that they used, and he said this thing was the most advanced thing he has ever seen. And when one of them went down in the entrance to the compound, it's about $1 billion aircraft, he said, and they had to blow it to pieces.
Wow.
They can't give up this technology, and that partially sparks the thought in my head, what capabilities do the government have?
Yeah.
Got anything else?
Just like another big one that we don't really need to touch up on a lot is how the pyramids weren't really built by the ancient civilizations back then, and they had the help from like alien technology, and like they brought it down. Because if you've seen those things, how is like one person or like one civilization gonna like physically be able to move and build something that tall without any like?
You also do gotta think about it though. Back then, they had like hundreds of thousands of people working on all this stuff.
Yeah, and then again, what else did they have to do back then? Except
That's true. I mean, I think
those pyramids are hundreds of feet tall, and you're saying these bricks are probably like 6 feet wide, and like they probably weigh almost a ton.
Oh yeah, I know, but do you know like how truthfully long it took them to? It could have been over the span of like
years.
3 generations too, working every day for
hours.
But if you've seen like the inscripted like messages on the walls, it shows.
Yeah, no, I mean, if it truthfully happened in the time frame that they claim, I could see some sort of supernatural, or they were so technologically advanced for their time, where they had machinery and stuff that
nobody else knows about.
Yeah.
Because
which would make sense, planning back to Area 51.
Or another one is like the Aztecs. They were really, really advanced, and I feel like if they were able to be that advanced, why can't the Egyptians?
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, like they have all these pyramids, like specifically located, like in these correct spots all around the world. Like there's one, like in Antarctica. Like you can't just like how did somebody build a pyramid in Antarctica? Because it's not like it wasn't always that weather.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like people think it was designed for like almost like alien airports.
Yeah, I could see it.
Makes sense.
It could make
it's
sense.
Believable.
It's believable.
I mean, none of us are ever truthfully gonna know, but it's just something to think about.
I mean, I think we covered a lot of good information. And thank you for being in this. It truthfully does mean a lot, Milo.
Yeah.
You mean the world to all of us. Praise Milo.
So in conclusion,
conspiracy theories are there's a lot, honestly.
there's a lot.
I mean,
It's-
they're
it's-
maybe a transference device. They might be used for hope. Or they might just be used by the all-out crazies. Who knows?
Who knows?
But,
Well, anyways.
thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.